Let's begin with it.
But he's muted.
By the way, whoever speaks, make sure you unmute. Leon?
We cannot hear him, Jatin.
Leon, you need to unmute.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, pleasant good evening to all of you. My name is Leon Francis, and I'm the president of the Cricket Show, an online radio talk show, which is on every Sunday from 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And our duty is to educate, inform, and entertain people about cricket in the USA. We have been doing it since 2010. We are 501c4, not-for-profit organization, and we do it out of the kindness of our heart. We have some 11 or so members who are on each week with us: Ivor Henry, Audley Watson, myself, Denise Heath, who are on the panel with us this evening. And our role this evening is to get the most of all the candidates, to see what they can do to develop cricket, because our aim is to educate, inform, and teach people about the sport we love dearly. We do it out of the kindness of our heart. None of us is paid. We do it because we love the sport and we enjoy it. We want to welcome each and every one of you this evening, and we are not a partisan group. We are here to learn and to help in any way we can. I hope that you can help us to make cricket in the USA top in the world. So I want to take this opportunity at this time to introduce you to our host, Denise Heath. Good evening to you, Dennis.
Good evening to you, Leon. Good evening to the group as a whole. I can see Ganesh, I see Jatin, Leon, and I know in the background there is Dr. Atul Rai. I'm not sure if we have anybody else on board. However, I should first say to you that we received a message from Suraj Bishwantehan, who is unable to attend. He said he has just returned from a family emergency and he has scheduled meetings, but he would like to thank us for whatever support we're offering and for the invitation to this discussion. And that's the apologies from Suraj. Now, this is a Cricket Show special event. Welcome to all participants, listeners, and viewers. Our aim is to support and promote the sport of cricket in the USA. The Cricket Show is a not-for-profit organization that is supported and run by a group of volunteer panelists. The Cricket Show has been broadcasting since 2010, weekly on Sundays for 3 hours. Cricket is growing and gaining attention here in the USA and abroad. We have a momentum and making good progress. The governance of cricket in the USA is the most important factor that is dependent on good administrators who can take this sport to a higher level in the USA. So we are here tonight to hear from candidates who have visions, interest, and a goal to grow cricket in the United States. Tonight, the organizers and the Cricket Show are completely independent. We have no benefit to gain in respect of any one candidate. We are hoping to educate and inform our listeners, viewers, and participants regarding the upcoming elections of officers for the Cricket USA. Once again, thank you for being a participant, viewer, and listener. Of course, I'm Denise Heath, as been pointed out. We have Jatin, Leon, and we may have one or two others from the Cricket Show. Now, if you wish to speak, we hope you can raise your hands, especially directed at audience who may come in. We have 2 minutes intro, And we will give you 2 minutes as a closing remark and approximately 2 minutes to give us your answers. No exceptions, please. Violators will be muted. Repeated violation may result in just expulsion. And I hope that doesn't sound too harsh, but we need to have some rules so that we don't, make it a fish market. Thank you. And we may just have a word from Jatin Patel, the timekeeper, before we move on.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys all coming out today. My role today is to timekeeper, like a watchman, make sure nobody is going beyond the allowed time. We will give enough time, try to straight to the point. Do not try to abuse the policies, so that way you all can all enjoy. This is not the forum or a platform. We are doing it for arguments or disagreement. That is not our interest. So with that said, we'll keep moving on it. And we will start with the lineup we have for the introduction will be the incumbents first. Am I right, Denise?
Yes.
Okay, then it starts with, I think Ajit Bhaskar is here. He can go ahead and introduce himself. And we will move on to the next candidate.
Can I just confirm?
Sure.
We have, I see 3 people, Ajit, Ganesh, and Dr. Atul Rai. Is that correct?
Yes, 3 of them. Then you have Kuljit as a candidate.
And is
Babu
he here?
Venkat Chalapati is the candidate.
Guljit. What's the name after Guljit?
Nijjar Kuljit Singh.
Kuljit Singh.
Right? And then we have Babu also on the forum. You already got the Ganesh. And we have also existing active board member Srini Salwar.
Okay.
And some may
7,
join later because 3 people told me they might be running late. So we will see
right.
what we can do
Okay.
to catch up with them.
Thank you very much. And so now we will begin for 2 minutes introduction. This is with Ajit Bhaskar, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Ajit, you're free to speak.
Thank you. Ajit Bhaskar here. I'm in board of directors. So introduction is like, I've been in board from last 2 years. My track record shows what I did. I was a co-chair when we achieved the ODI status. And I was the chair of strategy committee when we created the first foundational document, which has the 10-year lineup. I am the current membership committee chair where the membership started from 700 to 20,000. So overall, wherever I have worked on has shown a tremendous progress. My track record shows successful leadership here. And now I'm also the president of Commonwealth Cricket League and New York Tennis Board Cricket League. These are the 2 cricket leagues, one of the largest, I would say, in Northeast. And I've been in administration position from last 15 years. With my policies, we have streamlined and made better the league places. And even in fact, this year itself, we have worked on so many grounds, fixed pitches here, grassroots cricket has picked up. Even in fact, we arranged recently the intra-region women's cricket also. Overall, been here from long time, did a lot of work. And if you see, like when we started as a board, it was a blank page. And from there, we started and achieved a lot in last 2 years, including the 4 national tournament and many things which we did as for the first time. Probably the ODI status, we could say, getting qualified, regional qualifying men's and women's tour, probably, and then now getting qualification for ODI, the World Cup for men's, and hosting some of the World Cup game itself is much like, I think that's also something we achieved.
Okay, thank you, Ajit.
Okay.
We can go with the next one as Dr. Atul Rai, because he used to be a board member and now going for re-election. Let's say this way.
Thank you. Dr. Rai?
Good evening. Good evening to all. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and be with all you guys. And I tell you that this whole ensemble is pretty big. So let me just briefly tell you about myself. And I know most of you know me, and I don't have to say a lot of things about myself. But suffice to say, I have been part of U.S. cricket for more than 3 decades, and have been involved with grassroots cricket in Southern California. I started the junior program and I was president of USAC in 2002. There was no junior program until then. There was no under-19 program. In fact, the first national tournament happened when I was the president of USAC. I wrote the national plan, 5-year strategic plan for US when I was president. We went to the Champions Trophy because we beat Canada. It was the first time in the history of US cricket. So anyway, those are all old times, but let me talk about the current times. So I was member of the board. I was asked to be part of the board again 3 years ago in 2018. I reluctantly agreed at that time because when I get involved, I really get involved, and I'm very serious about what I do. And I did get involved. And so sure enough, there were a lot of in the initial, I want to say, the inertia of the US cricket was because we were still coming out of Cricket Americas and all of that. But when I was part of the board, I was quite active, and I basically was, there was no membership. And I created a membership program, and that's how actually we initially had, Higgins came with 20,000 members in 2020. Unfortunately, they dropped the ball, and the USA board nothing to conduct the elections. And 2021, then we went on to start the membership again, which I feel really strange about. But I have simple plans.
Sorry, Atul bhai. The time is over. Guys, when you talk, be sure to keep on the clock too. As I said, we are not here for night long. So try to keep your clock. If you have cell phone, turn the stopwatch so you can know, right? And you will have some more opportunity to speak when you're gonna have extra time during the question and answer. Thank you, guys.
Not a problem.
Okay, thank you. Who's up next?
We can pick up any of those new
Okay.
candidates now.
All right, let's have Ganesh, please.
Make sure you're unmute.
I've started my stopwatch. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for hosting this talk show / debate. We are all here because we love the sport more than anything else. That's the reason at 9 p.m. Eastern, we are talking cricket. Myself, 26 years in USA as a cricket volunteer, 16 years as NCCA administrator, 8 years as a president. During my time, my cricket league has grown twice. So for 170 teams last year, total in the last 12 months, I've played cricket in NCCA. I really want to make a change, follow constitution. I'm as president of one of the largest democratically run cricket league. I work with committees in my league. I have a big set of volunteer group that I always make, get you a big help of. And I definitely want to, I think I'm the right candidate for the USAC Cricket Director post, and hoping that I do get an opportunity to serve on the USAC Cricket Board. Many things that USAC Cricket has done right in the past 1 year, but they have failed miserably on few things. Board is completely disengaged, and lawsuits, of course, elections delayed, some of those things that could have been easily avoided, that hasn't happened. And I definitely want to make a change in that way. The current board got clean slate 2018. And in spite of that, they managed to get themselves in a mess. So I want to clear that mess, and I want to start afresh again and involve everybody in USA cricket, especially youth cricket and adult cricket and women's cricket. Thank you very much. Before 2 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ganesh. Is Kuljit available to speak?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, this is Kuljit Singh Nijar. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I started the Dallas Cricket League way back in 2002. I myself am not a cricketer. I just on weekend, I wanted to play the sport. Started with about 8 teams way back in 2002, and since then the game of cricket has exponentially grown in this area. About 180 teams are playing as of today. Mainly around 2010 is when I kind of wanted to check what's going on with the youth cricket, because mostly whenever I met a youth, they didn't kind of know who our cricketers were, what the sport was about, and that is when worked on the youth structure over here, started a coaching program, worked on getting the coaches, and made sure most of the kids have a games to look forward. Created a league for youth, allocated a ground from the city, and made sure the kids get to play as many games as they can to develop their skills, get to the next level. That is in about 2013. Also looked into a women's cricket, started a women's cricket league for about 3-4 years. 2013 to 2016 is when I looked into promoting the women's cricket here in the Dallas Metroplex area. Thank you.
Thank you, Kuljit. Let's invite Nijar, please.
No, he's the one. Nijar was there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We need to go Babu.
All right. Babu, correct. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, all. First of all, thank you so much for having me today and arranging this cricket talk show. And it's great to see, we have everybody across the country, talking about cricket. A little bit about me. I started moved into the States in 2004, been a volunteer, been a leader in cricket in various roles. And I worked across various regions. In fact, I started in the Midwest, St. Louis as an umpire. I was a WACB certified umpire. I also been the secretary for the USAC cricket umpires for 3 years. Worked with various leagues in New York, Missouri, Midwest, and moved to Dallas in 2010. And I would probably call out, a couple of things as my, achievements, right? The first one is I was part of Dallas Premier League. I was one of the co-architects in 2011, where we
Excuse me one moment, Coach. We have some interference from somebody with some TV or radio playing in the background. If it's in the studio, we need to have somebody close that down.
Okay, I got it. I take care of it. And I did pause my time just like I do in soccer. So let's go resume. You spend 54 seconds. Keep moving.
All right. So
I'll restart when you start speaking. Go ahead.
All right. So in 2011, in fact, we launched Dallas Premier League, and I was one of the co-architects of it. And that's, that showed to the cricket world, cricket is a commercial product.
Coach,
I believe it's coming from his own, because only thing we have unmute right now, you, me, Leon, and the Babu himself. I don't see anybody is unmute right now. So Babu, is there something going on behind you?
I'm in a lobby, but I'm in a quiet place. I don't see anything. In fact, I'm in a hotel right now traveling, so I don't know where it is coming from. It looks like my 2 minutes is. Jatin, can you reset the clock? Maybe I'll start going.
Yeah, you got 55 seconds, so keep moving. Let's see.
Okay. Yep. So basically, I started the Dallas Premier League, one of the co-architects in 2011. That's actually showed to the cricket world that cricket is a commercial product across the country, right? And then involved in various umpiring things, initiatives. One of the flagship, I would say, the recent one that we opened up a ground, the first cricket ground in an elementary school in Texas. That's the first ground in a school campus in the Texas region. I'm so proud of that. We are able to pull it through with cooperation from the city and the IST board. Not just on the cricketing background of over these years. One thing I also want to talk about my professional background. I think when you want to run a national governing body, Not only have the experience of managing, nationally the USA Cricket Umpire Association, I also manage a successful, work as a VP in a successful IT business, managing close to $50 million business. I think that gives me that brings a corporate governance. One of the key pieces I listed out when I started my campaign was, I want to make sure USA Cricket is run with, we manage the corporate governance, accountability, and transparency. Being a 501c3, corporate governance is very important. Right now, 70% of the board's term has expired, and we need to fix that fast. Governance is going to be my key motive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope I had some time left, Jatin.
No, you did okay, perfect. Just we give you a little bit about 28 seconds extra because of that interference, but it's okay. I know other people will understand that part. Before you go ahead further, Denise, we do have 2 more board members in this group. Venu Pisike, he's from Atlanta, Georgia, and we also have Srini Salwar from San Francisco area, but they are not part of the election. So as per the process, we announce them and we welcome them and thank you for coming out. And now we are moving forward on Dennis' agenda next. Dennis, all yours.
Yeah, we'll take Sri Sarwar.
No, they're not allowed to speak because they are the existing board members and they are not part of the election. That's why.
Oh, Sri Sarwar. Okay, they're just.
Srini Shalwar and Vanu.
Okay. All right. So that means we have covered all the potential candidates so far. So at this point, we will then go into questions. And before, I have a question sent in by a viewer or a listener, and I'm sorry, I'm not sure that I have the name correct, and I will read the question and perhaps someone can correct me if I have it incorrect in front of what is being asked. The question being directed at the contestants is, what are your plans for zonal cricket? And we can start again in the order we dealt with, beginning with Mr. Pasca.
Hey, thanks for an opportunity once again. So the zonal structure, I think when I was the cricket committee chair, we had a pathway. And I think it's more important for any governing body to have a proper zonal structure and a pathway for the players to reach a national level. So the plan here is, I think it's already on the card, and it started implementation in certain part of the country also. So start with the 50 overs interleague, where the league will play 50 overs each other, and then we'll pick the zonal team from the best of that, and then probably they will play interzonal and interregional, and then that's how they climb into the national tournament. We already completed one session of that last year, which missed the 50 overs interleague competition, which should start now, and probably in a year or two you will see that coming in all different format and age group.
Thank you. Ganesh?
Thank you very much for the opportunity once again. I have the experience of running junior cricket program, adult cricket program, adult league, as well as women's cricket from the age group category. I've actually, my local team, NC Northern California teams, have won under 19 national championships, where we've actually created pathways in the past. And when the previous national governing body was in operation. So I do have the experience, almost 20 years of providing pathways. 3 boys from my league went to under 19 World Cup. So that tells that I have something that I'm doing that is correct. So my plan would be to provide tournaments, as many tournaments, whether it's interleague tournaments, zonal tournaments, national tournaments. I would aggressively work towards it. I am part of an interleague tournament committee that is conducting USA interleague tournament since last year. Prior to that, the tournament was limited to the West Coast leagues, but we've expanded to national level. So do have the experience, working on providing a structure and then following, adhering to that structure, which is very important, because if you don't put a plan together and if you don't follow the plan, then everything can go for a toss, as we've seen in the current setup. Again, don't want to put the current administration down, but the fact is it has failed, and that's the reason I'm trying to be there to make a change. Thank you very much, Atul bhai, Jatin bhai. 1 minute 45 seconds. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I skipped Dr. Atul Rai as second one. It is time for Dr. Rai to come in, please.
Yeah, I've been skipped many times before, so I'm only joking. Thank you. But here it is, right? So 20 years ago, I started the zonal structure. There was no zonal structure then. So that zonal structure empowered the leagues and the other academies to actually create the foundation in the zones, because decentralized is the word. That's what we need to talk about, because you can't function at the top and be disconnected and disengaged from the rest of the US community. Okay, so the structure, people who are doing work at the grassroots level, the bottom of the totem pole, don't get any credit. They're doing all the hard work, but you start with them because they will give you the resources, the power, the energy, and everything that you need. Then they build on it. So that's how it should be, because without that, the top is going to get nowhere. You may have $100 million. You will never buy these people. So the decentralization and zonal structure is the way to go. So I have a plan. I think absolutely that's a key plan. It's not just creating a little pathway here. It's about actually creating a structure. There has to be accountability at the zonal level. So anyway, I can go on and on and on, but we'll get another time to speak about this. So I'll stop. Thank you.
Thank you. Gurjeet, please. Coach Gurjeet.
Sorry.
Let's move to the.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm here now. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So here in Texas, we have done a zonal tournament in 2016, where we have involved all the local leagues here, to compete against each other, and also had several youth tournaments conducted here in the past since 2010. So involved heavily into getting all the local leagues, have a tournament, where most of the kids, the players had a.
He's muted. Can't hear.
Gurjeet, you have to unmute.
Thought it's 2 minutes limit probably.
No, that's fine. I think he's on road coming back with the kids from Houston tournament to Dallas. And he has all youth players in his van. So we want to make sure we give the comfort. If he's driving, we need to be extra careful.
Okay.
Gurjeet bhai, can you get back, or we can move with someone else? Let's move with someone else and we can bring Gurjeet later.
All right. Well, let's have Babu. Babu?
All right, thank you. So when you talk about regional structure, I think we need to keep in mind, I think what we really need is a proper regional structure, right? And we need to, Atul bhai used the right word, decentralize. I think that is definitely required, because if we don't have a regional structure, right, because it's not just about conducting tournaments, it's about developing local infrastructure. And what I mean by infrastructure is not just the fields. You need coaches, you need local umpires, you need all infrastructure required to conduct a different set of tournaments, right? But it could be adult, it could be youth, it could be women, it could be under 15, under 19. You need to develop the infrastructure locally. And as I mentioned, infrastructure means it's fields, coaches, umpires. We need a standardized system locally. Not only that, one of the things, while we talk about all these tournaments in the last year and a half, What puzzles me is we don't have a domestic calendar in place, right? We need to put up a domestic structure and we need to come up with a calendar. How difficult it is for us to publish a calendar at the beginning of the year and say, hey, these are the dates we are going to do these tournaments, right? Right now, 2 weeks before we think, okay, we are going to do the intra-regional super, and we just give people 10 days time. That's not the way you conduct a national governing body. We need to have a proper structure in place, proper plan in place, and that's the only way we can execute things.
Thank you. I have no other question at the moment from any listeners or viewers. I'm wondering if either Leon or maybe Jatin has a question from anyone that they wish to pursue. Otherwise, we'll take other questions.
I'm back.
Kuljit is back. You can
okay.
wrap up in
Good.
1 minute if you want, Kuljit. Bye.
Sure.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, I mean, see, we do publish the calendar upfront, at least here in Dallas, so the parents will have a proper, they can plan properly. All the tournaments that will happen throughout the year are published on the website. They can go to a national tournament. They can go to MLC tournament. We have a Independence Cup that happens every Independence Day on July 4th. So, and even the tournament that happens in Houston. So we have been doing that every year so that they can parents can plan their vacation, and then kids can participate in all those tournaments. So the calendar is being published. I think that's what needs to happen at the national level. That so that the players that play, they should know when the games are going to happen, and the opponent. That's how they can build a big fan base. Currently, if you look at it, I mean, the players, the USA players, they don't have a calendar. They should really, we should make sure that that the calendar is published upfront, in at least by November, so that and make them play as many games as possible, so that and a particular player can have its identity.
Sorry, Kuljit, bye. Time is over. We need to move on. Dennis,
Okay.
we can go
Yes.
with those 5 questions we already got before we started
Right.
meeting. And then
Good.
we have 3 more questions from people, and everyone should get about no more than 90 seconds. Try to be sharp and finish as soon as you can, right?
And
Go ahead.
you have the clock. Can I put to all the candidates, can you give us, the listening audience and the viewers, your ideas for increasing the budget for the organization? And remember time. Okay, again, we'll start with Pascal, since
All right. So starting with if you see my agenda also, I said 3 sources of income that we would like to increase the revenue from ICC. That may be project-based, or if our team qualifies into next level, or become a full member. That is the one way of raising the revenue. The second one is our commercial partner. We would talk to them. We'll make them to invest more in infrastructure and the tournaments. And third is, as usual, other sponsors or corporate and any other way of raising the funds. And I think we have started on that line, and we will continue to raise more and more revenue on this. Thank you.
thank you. Dr. Rai?
Thank you. Yeah. We talk about revenue sources, and we live in the richest country in the world. So I don't think we should be talking about ICC, because I mean, if it's only $2 million or $3 million, whatever the heck ICC is giving us, that's absolutely not enough to run the programs in this country. 20 years ago, I told the ICC guys, you give us the same money as whole of Europe. We can't run an associate country like America with that kind of money. So what we need to do is to get to I talk about decentralization. Go to the people. They are the power. How do you run the tournaments in the leagues? Who pays the money? They actually get the money, right? So go to the corporates involved at the grassroots level get the corporates involved. Our grassroots program needs to have corporate involvement, right? So that's how you actually get money, right? And then, of course, the ICC money is another drop in the bucket. So, but essentially, we need to raise people, empower them, get them. Their value is more than $100 million. I think we need to go to those people first. Our regional programs, all of them need to be self-sustainable, and the national, we couldn't even have a national tournament with $100,000 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when we got $4 million. So it doesn't matter how much money ICC gives us. We still won't make that happen. It needs to start at the bottom. The top is still disengaged. We need to make that happen. So anyway, money has to come at a lower level. We cannot go to the commercial partners with the begging bowl all the time. We cannot go to the ICC with the begging bowl. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's have Ganesh, please.
Thank you very much for this. This is an actually very interesting and good question. First thing first is, if our commercial partner can go with a USA Cricket tag and raise $40 million, why can't USA Cricket go and raise $2 million or $3 million or $4 million on its own? It's simple as that. So that's where we are failing as USA Cricket Board. Secondly, money saved is money earned, if you will. I've seen some expenses that are totally unnecessary, and then tournaments have suffered. I cannot believe that players had to pay, under 19 players had to pay for their hotel and flight, whereas, previously USAC League and even NCCA used to host players and pay for their hotel and things like that. So it's totally possible to have leagues, zonal administrations that run, the tournaments, save money there. Again, corporate, going back to the corporates, asking for, sponsorships. That's definitely, as I said, America is the land for, plenty resources. And I want to definitely, I have the experience of raising the funds, so I definitely want to, I know how to go about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Guljeet, available? Can you take this question?
Yeah. See, of course, sponsorship, it is a way to raise funds. We can raise funds through major corporates, and look for digital rights, whether it's small businesses or big businesses, or run local ads in tournaments. This is when people try to look for what is the ROI, return of investment, right? When we do the tournament, let us give the players at least again, it boils down to having a calendar for the players where they should play many games and win those games. Once they win the games, the viewership will come, and the corporate will try to pour the money. That is where, I think, we'll have at least, the money starting pouring in from the corporates or bigger or small businesses. They should see at least some results, and this can only happen when we try to engage these players into having play against other nations and win those tournaments. Thank you.
Thank you. Babu, has Babu had his turn?
No.
No.
Not yet.
Okay,
All right.
Babu.
Babu there?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
See, when you talk about improving finances, there are multiple ways to do that, right? One is we need to, sponsorship is one we are talking about. The other thing we need to think about is how do we manage our funding sources, right? And there are multiple ways to improve your funding. You have to have financial prudence. Right now, if you look at one of the financial statement on, I think, 2 years ago, the development was spent $8,000 or $10,000, wherein, bulk of the money is spent on various ways. You need to think about how do you develop funds at grassroots levels also, right? Cricket is run majoritarily by 501c3. And this country, we have a lot of opportunities to create funds using the 501c3 as well, right? There are a lot of corporates ready to invest. But why we are not getting those funds? We have been in this country for so long. There are multiple reasons why we are not getting those funds. Is one, we don't have a proper governance. which corporate company will want to work with an organization who doesn't conduct their elections in time? Which corporate will want to work with an organization who doesn't have a sustainable membership base? 1 year I have 3,000. 1 year I have 8,000. 1 year I have 500. 1 year I have 30,000. 1 year I have 20,000. We need to have a proper sustainable membership base and have our corporate governance clean for us to go and talk to corporates, right? And then you need to create a value. How do you create a value for American companies to come and invest in cricket, right? You are not going to do that by all expats only playing the game. We have to take the game to the mainstream. We need to find a way to bring the local grown kids to the field and their families to the field.
Sorry, Babu, your time is over.
Thank you. But that question allows me to segue into.
Before that, Denise, I got one exciting question here, just sent by this thing. By the way, all candidates, we have proof. This is not our question, period. Number two, Ajit is expected to leave early, so I like to jump in and give you the question. It will be a little bit excitement. You will have only 15 seconds to answer.
Wow. I hope like this is not a
Question is simple. If you win this election, what one change you will make?
We will start with Pascal again.
15 seconds for this.
You just tell me simple, what you will make change, 15 seconds. It's funful. We don't need the details.
Correct. I think there are many items are there. Top, first is revenue, stabilize the financial stuff, conduct some national tournaments, and yeah, like I think financial stability is another thing we want to look into, and probably conduct the next election very soon.
Thank you. There were like too many things. We are looking for just one answer, guys.
Sounds like
one answer, not few things, guys. Come on. Let's go next.
All right, Dr. Atul.
The most important thing for any organization, transparency, accountability, and corporate governance. If you don't have that, everything else is useless. Yeah, those are the things. That is clearly governance.
One change.
Governance. That's governance issue.
Thank you. It's done.
Right? Okay.
Okay. Ganesh.
I want to be on the path of inclusion, the excluded, the marginalized cricket community across the US. And that's a lot of people that are on the outside looking on the inside. So I want to include as many possible, as much as possible. Thank you.
Okay. Gurjeet.
Yeah, my focus would be getting the youth cricket, on top, getting tournaments, for the kids, getting the families involved. Once we have the USA level.
Thank you, sir. Let's go next.
I started my campaign on this: corporate governance, accountability, and transparency. And those are the key things to fix, along with inclusiveness.
Thank you. Anyone left? Any candidate left for this quick, funful answer?
Nice googly, Jatin bhai. Thank you.
I'm bringing your card too soon. So let's go. That is your question next. Whatever you have on agenda.
He's muted.
He is muted.
Sir, you need to ask the question again. Probably you're on mute.
Unmute. Sorry. Somebody asked the question, and I want to get a broader look at this. How will you improve the local American-born population into the game of cricket? We will start. Oh, Babu.
Now we need to start the new cycle, so it will start with
right. Okay, that is for Pascal, please. How would you get this game into the local-born American population? And I know we have the advantage of you know, people from abroad, such as the islands and Asia and so on, who grow up into the game. I'm thinking now primarily of American-born.
Right. I think to just answer that. So from development committee, we started the Cricket Hero program, which is supposed to go to schools and educate them. I think the program is really good. We started the pilot program this year where 5 schools from New York has participated. You will not believe 1,500 kids participated. I can share the picture. It's not Asian community. It's full American-born kids loving cricket. I think that program is awesome, and we can start that and put it across all across the country. And that is one way of doing it. And there are multiple other plans are there where baseball kids who pick this, we have to change that with the baseball game. And other one also, like whoever is interested, like community sports, the kids in the school, educating the other kids, training the trainer, quite a lot of other plans are there as part of the board. And I think that's probably something we should start. Cricket Heroes is one of the successful programs which we plan to implement across the country.
Thank you.
Thank you. And this is, we giving 60 seconds for this, and Ajit used 56, which is great. So just won't let the other candidates. You got 60 seconds to answer this.
Dr. Roy?
Thank you. Yeah, 20 years ago, I started a schools program in LA, and that was very, very successful. You know, I started the junior program in the US. It has to be community-based program. In order for it to actually flourish, it needs to start from the community. We need to create coaches. We need to bring corporates into the community, and that's how you create the program. And then you create pathways. And when I was on the board, we were looking into creating scholarship for these kids. When they get to be 18, they have to go to college. They don't have an opportunity to play. So look at the people who are donors in the universities and ask them to set aside money for a scholarship for cricket, so that these kids can continue to play the game. So we need to continue to nurture these kids, American-born kids, to play the game, create avenues for them, increase participation. That is one of the things in the strategy document, you know, so the participation of the kids, that we need to talk about that. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ganesh, please.
Thank you very much. Very good question. So if you don't have the experience of implementing this program, you wouldn't be able to, you know, look into the future as so. My league players, US-born players have gone to World Cup, my league. I think that explains a little bit of what we've been able to achieve here. My adult league in the past, my adult cricket league in the past 5-7 years, I've had over 100 USA-born cricketers graduate from junior cricket to adult cricket, or they are still under 19, but they're playing against the adult and performing well. And every year we are running youth league in the local area. Over 120 plus US-born cricketers are playing against each other. So I have the experience, and I'm pretty sure I won't be inclusive of all the league adult cricket academies to bring about national youth tournament. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Guljeet, please.
Yeah, in Texas, you know, I mean, we have had several school programs where we had a lot of PE teachers involved, and you know, we try to educate them. We had about 41 PE teachers, you know, and we gave them a cricket kit. You know, the only issue that we later found out, you know, that there's nobody to follow up. You know, there's a curriculum, so we really need to have proper resources, you know, to come back and train these kids. Just by introducing the game, involving the American kids will not have I mean, let's say you want to learn the game of risk, you first read the rules and try to engage. We have a YMCA next to our grounds. None of the American kids come and want to play the game, because, you know, I mean, even by introducing it is only one kid I've seen who by himself saw people playing cricket, and he picked up the bat and says to a parent that, hey, I want to join cricket. That is when, you know, he's playing currently in Dallas Youth Cricket League. He's an American-born kid, you know. I mean, he's so it is up to the American kids, you know. They should be having the curiosity to learn the sport, you know. I mean, you can play the sport right in front of them, right in front of their eyes, you know. They're not going to pick it up. If I want to learn a new sport, I would first learn the the rules of the game, and I will engage myself. And then nobody taught me how to play Risk. So if I have the hunger to play the game, I would come forward and learn myself, you know.
Thank you, Gurjit. Gentlemen,
Babu
Rose.
left. Babu left.
I forgot. My apologies, Babu.
No, that's all right.
Go ahead, you have the floor.
Yep. See, when we want to take the game to the mainstream kids, we need to make it attractive to them, right? And there are multiple ways, right? And as I just mentioned, in Little in my town, we just opened a cricket field in an elementary school, right? And that brought kids into the field. And we actually have a few American kids starting to practice now because they see the game every day, every week is played in their school, and they're interested about it. But more than that, we need a structure by which we want to engage the community. And when I mean by community, it is not just the kids, it's the parents. And you need to find a way to engage them. In fact, one of the key things that we have started, I do not want to talk about it at this point because the announcement will come out in a few days, which is going to bring the community together on the cricket side, because there are a lot of initiatives we work locally. And the key piece you need to think about and strategize is how do we bring those kids, how do we motivate those kids? Scholarship is one area, or it could be various ways of, there are a lot of ways that you can take the game, and they need to be constantly reminded, and we need train the trainer. We don't have a proper coaching program. For example, the nearby, the Frisco IST have adopted the cricket as a curriculum in Dallas, and I'm working with some of the coaches, and they don't have training resources for them. And we are actually arranging a program for them now to train the trainers. I think we need coaches to train the coaches, and then start motivating the younger kids to come and play the local home ground and bring the community together.
Thank you. At this
Denise,
time,
Denise, I think this time this person has a good question about the future of youth cricket. And I would like to go ahead and if you have the permission, he can ask questions straight rather than we ask, and let this candidate to answer within 90 seconds like that. So I like to have Safil Ahmed. If you are on, unmute and ask the question, but try to keep it simple. Are you there, Safil?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about the monopoly that's happening right now with the American cricket enterprise, right? There are coaches who have been running the program for years and have grown talent, and suddenly the MLC academies are saying that only if you play for us, only you can go to USA Cricket, right? Get selected for USA Cricket. So I just wanted to see how the candidates will break that monopoly and make sure that everybody has an opportunity to play for USA.
Again, all candidates will have 90 seconds to respond. We'll start the same rotation.
Can I, before the candidates ask the question, can I ask the questioner if he can give us a clearer example of what he means by monopoly? Because one gets the idea that when you talk monopoly, you're talking about, monies or funds, and we need a little more.
It's just the opportunity. And when I say monopoly, there is a rumor that if you play for MLC academies only, you can play for USA Cricket, right? So we want to make sure that when it is development of youth cricket, there is everybody involved and everybody gets equal opportunity. That's all.
So this person is asking about the youth cricket future. His concern is if his kid is not included in an MILC junior academy program or something, what the board stands on that one.
Thank you. 90 seconds, please. Starting with, we will start again with Pascal.
Again, Safal, I think a good question, but I think, again, a misconception across the country, right? Where people think MLC is a commercial partner and they drive and do a lot of stuff, but completely wrong. We do have a selection panel ourselves, right? And we selected few good people who are doing a good job. So now if you're saying those people are biased from MLC, that's completely wrong. But there might be a very good chance that great kids from MLC Academy making it to the national team. That doesn't mean that you need to be in MLC. We made it so many times very clear that any academies, doesn't matter, MLC, non-MLC, there is no clear criteria. The only thing we were looking is the talent. It can be found in MLC Academy or non-MLC Academy. And again, let me clarify it very clearly. The kids are selected by USA selectors, not MLC selectors. So very clearly, that's a rumor, misconceptions, and that needs to be cleared. You can have a good talent and you can make it to a national team. No requirement of MLC Academy. Very clear from both.
Thank you, Pascal. All right, Dr. Rai? Dr. Atul?
Unmute.
Dr.
Sorry,
Atul.
yeah, that is a very valid question because we addressed this when I was on the board in 2020 February. One of the board members had asked this question: will this, if the MLC or Willow is cricketing academies, starting academies, will that mean that the other kids will not have an opportunity? So, and they said no, they should be the same. However, that has not transformed into reality, because I have personally heard from people saying that MLC academies are telling kids that you cannot participate in tournaments. Just the other day, I got a call from somebody who said the kids were crying because they were prevented from participating in tournaments and in trials. And the kids are young kids born in this country. They need an opportunity to play the game, not be told that you have to go through a certain cash-rich academy. And what if I don't have the money? Just as somebody said earlier, the kids were asked to pay money to come for this nationals. Cannot happen. You know, this governance has to be USA Cricket's mandate, and that has to come through USA Cricket. The mandate has to come from these people who are sitting on the board. Tell these people that conduct the trials for all kids, not just for MLC kids. I have nothing against MLC. I want those kids, academies to happen, but not just for exclusively for certain kids. Money won't buy those things. It will never will. In soccer, so Holo.
Sorry, sir, your time is over. Let's move on.
All right, Gurjeet. Oh, no, Ganesh, please.
Thank you very much, Heath, Dennis. Yeah, this is a failure, right? This is a failure, one of the failures of the administration. Why have these rumors? And these are not rumors; these are facts. I've heard from parents in my league. I've heard from parents across the USA. And why would that? Why would that happen? I mean, there has to be some truth to it. So my simple suggestion would be, yeah, regional cricket bodies need to be formed. Democracy has its pitfalls, but democracy works. Don't decentralize. So I definitely want to have good governance and get these kind of things. Definitely, we don't need. USA Cricket is already set with so many other problems. We need to get this thing out as to my kid will get more opportunity and your kid won't get opportunity. That is just absolutely unfair. We are not doing a justice on our own self, or we are not just doing justice to the game of cricket that we all love. So this needs to be stopped right now, and that is why this board needs to be changed. Thank you.
Gurjeet, please.
Yeah, I just saw some comments, from Ajit Bhaskar, Ali Sheikh, and Ritvik Behra. See, these kids were not part of MLC kids. These kids are locally. I mean, they're from the region. From Texas region. Ali Sheikh, this kid started playing when he was 8 years old. So he had the opportunity to play cricket here, and now he's representing USA. So what we need to do is we need to really have tournaments other than USA sanctioned tournaments, regions in the region, and then from there, where the kids look for, as soon as we have a U11 tournament announced by USA Cricket Board, U13 tournaments announced by Cricket Board, parents will love to participate in those tournaments. That is where we will see the kids who don't have the financial resources, they will come and play these kind of tournaments. Right now it is very expensive, when we are trying to enroll or even get the kids signed up for any tournaments. We really need to make the tournaments or the games affordable to the parents, that cannot afford this game. That is what I would definitely try to have some structure for the kids at the US level. Have have this announced, this calendar announced upfront, that this is what will happen with the youth. Thank you.
Thank you. Babu, please.
Yeah, it's a really a great question, right? And I don't know the specifics of whether this exactly happened or not. But to answer the question, I mean, I think a lot of things goes to, again, perception, and maybe there is a conflict of interest as well involved, right? And some of the things that we need to keep in mind is whether it could be a selector, it could be in board. We shouldn't have any perceived conflicts. I think that's the first thing that I want to work on to fix it, right? Conflict of interest. And that's something, once you fix it, a lot of these perceptions can be eliminated, or if there are happening, that also can be eliminated. That's why when I run for my campaign, the first thing I put out is like, I will not be involved in any kind of for-profit activity while I'm in the office, which includes coaching, merchandising, or any kind of thing, right? That I made it as a campaign pledge. I also disclosed my conflict of interest document with the NGC. Now, coming back to specifically to answer the question, I think the USA Cricket has to have a clear policy in line. And it goes back to, again, what I repeatedly been speaking for more than a year now. We need to have a fixed domestic calendar, and we need to have a proper domestic structure for youth, and wherein which they get selected by the regional administration, we decentralize. So league level, there are youth played, they get selected, they play at a regional level. We cannot just bring everybody for a 3-day and say, what, these kids are selected. There has to be opportunity for everybody to play throughout the year, and then you select the best. Once you put that structure in place and eliminate conflict of interest, I think this problem can be easily fixed.
Thank you, Babu. I see Leon appears to be taking a break, and this is the point where I was wondering if Leon are you up to?
Yes, very much so. I just wanted to touch base on with all the candidates. And which obstacle do the panelists feel is preventing the USA Cricket from being further ahead at this point? Secondly, if each candidate were to be elected, what would be their first priority? And thirdly, what is the vision of the candidates if elected for USA Cricket?
So by the way, on this question, I think we can do the conclusion part too by giving them about 2 minutes, right? Because this is directly related to what they can help us, the US Cricket, in future, like that. So let's specify one more time, Denise, this question, and everyone should have 2 minutes to answer this. And that will also include your closing statement.
Okay, Leon, can you possibly give us the question again, please?
Yes, what are the candidates' views on the priority that if they're elected, what is the obstacle that is preventing the USA Cricket from being further ahead at this stage? And secondly, if elected, what would be their priority? And thirdly, what are their vision for USA Cricket?
Okay, so we're looking at priority, we're looking at vision, we're looking at removing obstacles, and what is your first job you're likely to take when you get into position. So I think that's clear. Ajit, please, you have Pasca, you have 2 minutes.
Again, this might take 10 minutes, but I would like to wrap it at 2 minutes. So obstacle, I think, great question. Overall, US has suffered a lot with not being a team player. Actually, like whenever is a governance comes, you need to have a team player, solution, the guy who can provide solution, working together. These are the major characteristic that needs to be as a board of director. If you're going to pull each other, you're going to kill each other, you're going to sue each other, you're going to burn the house itself, that is not going to work, and that's going to not going to help. And that's the first thing. The obstacle right now, board directors are not working each other. They're not talking in the right term. Maybe there are a lot of differences. That doesn't mean like you have to bring the whole house down. So we have to find a ground where we can all work together, agree to disagree. Somebody famous quoted it as, agree to disagree, try to make things work. How best we can work together is something very important that we need to do. So as I said, that's the obstacle. If we can work together, then probably we can achieve a lot as a board. Even with a lot of obstacles, we achieved a lot in last 1 year. 4 national tournament, many first things to happen to see what are the different achievements. We did ODI status, we did the women's intra-region, we did ODI status for women's. World Cup games been hosted. A lot of achievements has been done in last 2 years. Believe it or not, there are a lot of things. Nothing is perfect in this world. To make it perfect, we just started with 2 years. And in 2 years, with all these obstacles, we achieved a lot. Imagine everybody working together in a harmonious way, we could achieve much lot. So that's the first thing. Vision is again zonal structure, clear pathway for the players, and grassroots crickets, financial stability. Is there some major point? And Jatin, give me when it is 90 seconds so that I can wrap it up. And so again, guys, I couldn't talk to you in the beginning. All the best for all the candidates. I know you are all well qualified and have a great vision for cricket. And I would also say all the best for you for coming election. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhaskar. Dr. Rai?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity again. It's a vision. My vision is very simple. Make cricket the mainstream sport in America. That is the vision, right? That's the ultimate vision. So how do we accomplish that? So we can accomplish that from people sitting on the top, continuing to write policies and then not implement them. You know, governance is an inclusiveness, an inclusive policy. So we essentially, a simple thing like having elections, you know, and this board has not had elections in 2 years. And that's a simple failure. If you can't even conduct elections, how are you going to conduct a vision plan of, 2030 vision plan? It talks about so many timelines. We haven't done any of this. You know, it talks about several aspects of the plan, which the incumbent talked about. You know, the strategy document that Rohan Sajde and his team created. You know, it talks about connecting with people, participation. We haven't gone anywhere with all those things. So let's talk about how can we accomplish this? Because you can't silence people and keep saying, don't make noise. That doesn't work. You know, we need to decentralize, trust people, get people included in your plan, get the grassroots program going, get the, help the community, bring corporations, improve the brand value. What is the brand value of cricket in America today? Okay, we talked about Disney being involved in 20 years ago. Where are we today? You know, what is the corporate America doing? You know, and where are we with that plan? You know, if it's only one group of kids are going to play cricket and the other kids don't get to play, is that how we promote the game? That's no. You know, we need to actually have a structure, a plan, a calendar, and then we need to think about how do we move it forward, create infrastructure, create high performance centers. Where are all those plans? I need to see all of those things, because that's how you govern. You actually empower people. You create the structures that you need, decentralize.
Thank you, sir. That's good enough.
Thanks.
Let's move on.
Thank you. We will have Ganesh, please.
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to answer this question. Starting my clock now. Obstacles, again, board not united. Whatever reasons have been given, at the end of the day, it's a failure, and that needs to be noted. Again, the org is top heavy. We need more volunteers to do a lot of work. The players need to be taken care more than the execs, to be honest, and too much dependence on the commercial partner. I mean, look at we have 11-member board, and we are talking about getting from commercial partner. So let's get our dependence away from the commercial partner, from ICC, and look to be self-sustained. Okay. Now, my priority is, again, I mentioned in the beginning, inclusiveness. That's not going to change. Stay focused on the USA Cricket Constitution, have governance, as well as we possibly can. I have the experience of governing, large cricket body. And then another major priority for me is a USA Cricket facility of its own, because for years I've been part of 26 years, and we don't have one facility where all the boys can get together and practice. That's something that I definitely want to include. And then, and everyone comes together, great things happen. My vision is to see USA Under-19 finish top 10 in the under-19 World Cup one day. Thank you.
Thank you. Gurjit, please. Gurjit?
My vision, I've been hearing, that the existing board members, don't have an agreement, right? Once you are on the board, you have to work together. That is what my vision would be. I really want to have every board member, if there's an issue on the table, that issue needs to be discussed, and then we really need to have a proper discussion that should happen. And then once, any idea that comes, on the table, we should have the pros and the cons, right? And make sure that, everybody on the board should look at as whether it is going to benefit the USA cricket or not. That is what and try to convince every other board member. Don't try to say, hey, my way or the highway, right? You really have to, an idea is on the table, discuss with each other, what are the pros, what are the cons, and never say that, I can give you an example of Dallas Cricket League. There's an issue that comes on our board. We discuss each other day in, day out. We say we are going to have meeting minutes. We have to convince each other, because somebody throw an idea, discuss and try to see if it is going to benefit the league or it's going to benefit the USA cricket. If it is, that idea has to be passed. We just cannot have disagreements. Try to convince why that idea is good for USA cricket. That's what I would try to bring on the table.
Thank you. I presume at this point that we're looking at ending this debate tonight, Coach Jatin.
Babu left.
You keep missing me, Leon. I don't know.
I was coming to you next. I just wanted to buy you some more time.
Okay, sounds like a plan. I like that.
Thank you. Go ahead, you have the floor.
All right, thank you. First of all, thanks for the opportunity, and good luck to all the candidates. Right, it's a great question to finish. My vision for USA cricket is to bring the mainstream. Until we bring the mainstream American into the game is not going to move forward from here. And whether it's going to be financially, as well as on our way for commercial partners and other things, you need to have the mainstream being part of this. And that's my vision for the USA cricket, right? And obstacles. I think the biggest obstacle today we have, as much as I hate to say this, is corporate governance and transparency. When is the last time we have the board minutes released, right? We clearly lack transparency in the organization, accountability, and corporate governance. Once you fix those obstacles, the rest of the pieces will fall in place. And conflict of interest, as I mentioned, right? The board of directors should not have any for-profit cricket entity. And the board members has to take a oath. They will vacate their office when their term ends, whether they conduct an election or not. I made that pledge in my campaign. I'm making it in open camera again. I will not be in the office even for a single day beyond my term expires, whether the board conducts the election or not. I will force the board to conduct that election. I think each one of the board of directors has to take that governance very serious, transparency, conflict of interest, very serious. I think that's a key to the success for USA cricket to move forward.
Thank you. Coach, Patel, we're at your mercy as timekeeper. Leon has a comment he wants to make.
Yes, I just want to wish all the candidates well and to extend an invitation to each of you to be on our show. We do have a show each Sunday from 6 until 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and from 8 until 8:45 is open for all the candidates, not all at the same time, but we can entertain you 2 or so per week, or if that is not clear, we can do it over a period of a month. So that's
I would like to ask, when is the election due to take place?
It's a July 8 to 22, 14 days open window. That is the reason. Thank you everyone to come out tonight for cricket show. We are here to serve the cricket fraternity in US. Our primary objective with this session today is educate our listeners and viewers to make sure they understand right about the election and governance going on. And we have a great time today, knowing each and every candidate with their visions, opinions, ideas and where we are heading for the future. With that says, I can repeat what President Leon Francis says, we are open to welcome any candidate to come out on our radio show any given Sunday, and we will be happy to discuss more. We talk about cricket since 2010, and our goal is to educate America for cricket and promote, support, help the growth of the cricket. With that, I will say good night all.
May I please
Go ahead.
have one word? Yeah, thank you all, gentlemen, for being here, and of course, any listeners. I heard one or two words that I would like to. It is not the all in of what you've said, but Pasca is involved with 1,500 US born cricketer, and that's important aspect of building the game. Dr. Rai says involving corporate structure will build the game. Ganesh thinks that his area has produced World Cup players from their league. That is building the game. And Guljeet, under 16 youth zonal tournament, definitely is building the game. And of course, Babu says he wants open game in elementary school with coaching. That too is building the game. So gentlemen, there is a lot that you all have in common. And I know you've got USA cricket at the heart. And I want to take this opportunity to wish each and every one of you best wishes. And of course, echo the sentiment. Do come and join us on our radio show on Sundays, because there we can go into things in a lot more depth as far as the election is concerned. Thank you and good night to you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the last word from cricket. So all of you, good luck. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you all.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys. Good night.
Good night.